This is what we're going to build today. It's a nest box for chickens that the eggs roll out into a tray right here so that you can pick them up. The other good thing about that is they roll into here so they don't get dirty, they don't get muddy. As soon as they're laid, they roll away from where the chickens can touch them with their muddy feet or whatever. So I didn't come up with this concept. You'll see online other people have built these. The difference in this one is I wanted to make one where the trough part comes off so that you can clean it easily. So I can take that off and I can clean it. I can get up into here and clean this. The other thing was I didn't want to have to cut this out with a jigsaw. Most of them, this is all integral to this part, and you have to cut the whole thing out with a jigsaw, and I didn't want to have to do that. It seemed like a lot of trouble to me. The other side, now it's not sitting level. It'll sit like this once it's installed. But there's the front side of it. Okay, let's get started. So this is the bottom pieces of each layer box, and these are just 12 by 12. And then these are 23.5 by 12. And so it's going to go like this, with one there, and then the second story here. And then I'll have a board across. I'll have a board that'll go all the way across the tops of them. So that's why it's supposed to be 24 inches tall, but it's going to be, this is 23.5, so when I put a board on top, it'll be 24. And then I've got, this is the piece that goes across the top, and it is 50.5 inches long. And you need that because when you put each little half-inch piece in there to get 12 inches inside of each one. You could just make this 48 and adjust the measurements if you want to. The chickens aren't going to miss a half-inch in there. All right, I'm going to start putting this together, and I'm using a stapler with 1.5-inch staples that are 1/4-inch crown. And this came from Harbor Freight. I don't think they sell this one anymore, but I'll link one in the description that would be a good replacement for it. These things are usually, I think, like $40 or something like that. And you do have to have a compressor to run with them, but they make life so much easier. Another thing I want to say is, if you're buying materials to do this, I wouldn't use OSB, I would use plywood, because OSB does not hold well in end grain, but mine is going into a different situation, so it's not going to have really any stresses on it, but just keep that in mind when you're buying your materials. Okay, now I've got a 2.5-inch board that I'm going to attach to the front, and I've got it marked where to line up everything. Now I've got another one just like this one, and I'm putting it a foot from the bottom to the bottom of this right here. Okay, so this is the top, bottom, and this is the side where the chickens come in. So I got to take a board and put it right here, and what it's going to do, this is what's going to set the angle of the floor. So then this is going to come in there and sit like that, and then it'll come down to the bottom, like that right there. And that'll give us the angle that'll let it roll out. So I got to get these attached. Now I put a little 5-degree angle on here just to match this board, but if you don't have the equipment to do that, don't worry about it. It doesn't really matter. All right, now I got to do the same thing on this second row up here. Okay, so this is the back of the nest box, and this is where the eggs are going to roll out. So I've got to put this piece on, and then another piece for the lower section right there. Alright, before I put the lower piece in, I'm going to go ahead and get the bottoms of each box put in. I think it'll be easier. Okay, this is the piece that's going to go right here underneath the bottoms of the upper nest boxes. So I'm going to put a little piece of wood here, and that way when I flip it over, it'll support this bottom board. Hello. Okay, that's got all these on. And then when I flip it over and push it up to where it goes, it'll hold those pieces. Okay, on the lower row, I'm just going to put a piece of plywood across the bottom, and that'll give, this is the floor of the nest box, that'll give this edge something to rest on. Putting together one of the troughs that'll hold the eggs, like this one right here. And it's more that 3/8 plywood, and then I'm putting that, this is a 3-inch band of pine around it. I'm just adding a piece across the bottom for this trough to sit on. Then another one up here to hold that one. Now to make the straps that hold these on, I've just got a little, this is 8 inches by 1 inch piece of sheet metal, and I rounded over one corner with a sander so that it could stick out like that to help you get it off. So I want the hole right about the middle of this board. Want to be sure I get a hole big enough that my head of my screw will go through there pretty easy. And that looks like it'll work. Okay, so to get this right where it needs to be, we'll put it on here, then push it up tight like that. And then we're just going to put a little nail in here. Just like that. And that'll hold it in place, and then to get it off, you just raise it up a little bit and pull that off. Just like that. Okay, so that's got it nice and secure where it's going to stay there, but yet we can still remove it easily for cleaning. Alright, so I've cut some lids for these, and I made them just 1/8 of an inch short right to left so that it wouldn't hit this, and then I made it 1/8 of an inch shallow so that it wouldn't hit my box when I open and close it, but yet still seal this off. And now I just want to install my hinges. Put a little knob on here to open it. I just had these in a drawer, so that's what I'm going to use. So here it is installed, and I can access my eggs outside of the chicken house. That's why it's made like this. And it's been here for a couple of weeks now. And open it up, and there's an egg in here. Still kind of early in the day. My chickens are molting right now, so that I'm getting very few eggs. But so far, they're using it and it's working out really good. Let me get you in here and show you a couple of things. Now, this is why I wanted this to be a separate piece so that I could remove it and clean it. You see all this dirt that gets in there? I don't want to have to try to scrape it out with a putty knife and that kind of thing. And another change I made was at Home Depot in their carpet department, they've got this rubber mat. And so I bought this stuff because if they were to go up in there and go to the bathroom on this thing, rather than have to try to reach in there and scrape it out and all that, I can just pull this rubber out and rinse it off and then put it back. So that works really well too. So there you go. I just took that off and knocked it on the side and all the dirt fell out and it's ready to go again. This is how it looks installed on the inside. All right, so I hope this video was interesting to you. Thank you for watching.